These are Offbeat meat stories. That's one small step for meat, one giant leap for meat kind. In 2022, a restaurant owner and kebab enthusiast in Turkey celebrated the 61st anniversary of the first human spaceflight by attempting to send a kebab into space. The restaurateur and his crew put a kebab on a pipe and put the meat on a styrofoam tray attached to a box. The box was designed to endure the extreme conditions of the Earth's outer atmosphere. Inside was a GoPro and a tracking device to keep up with the flying food. The items were lifted using a large helium balloon. After 3 hours of flying, reaching an altitude of 22 to 25 miles, the balloon burst and the kebab fell with it. It was found intact about 75 miles from where it started, then brought back to the restaurant for a celebration. A sizzling, juicy steak made by computer. In 2021, Redefine Meat, a meat alternative startup in Israel, made their product using a highly technical process. The mix of soy and pea protein, chickpeas, beetroot, nutritional yeast, and coconut fat was formed into steak-like shapes using a 3D printer.
Our goal is to become the largest meat company in the world just by harnessing technology instead of animals.
Redefine Meat's product is designed to act, taste, and cut like flank steak.
This is the holy grail of alternative meat.
The texture feels right, even the smell smells like the real thing. Really authentic. For me, it's revolutionary.
In 2021, scientists in Japan printed meat, hoping it could be a more sustainable alternative to Wagyu beef. They say the move could help address food and protein shortages in the future. Lab-grown or cultured meat produced up to this point has been largely minced, but researchers are aiming to replicate the high marble content of Wagyu, which sets it apart from other types of beef. Researchers extracted bone-vine cells from Japanese black cows, then used a 3D bioprinter to create individual muscle, blood vessels, and fat fibers, before manually piecing the fibers together to create the meat. There's no word on the taste just yet, partly because it takes about a month and costs 10,000 yen or $89 to produce a cubic centimeter of the meat. Once the process is refined and automated, scientists say the meat could be mass-produced within 5 years, which would bring down the cost. By developing meat from just a few cells, scientists hope this Wagyu could one day help address food shortage issues. They also believe the technology could one day be applied to regenerative medicine. In 2018, this was one of the most expensive meatballs ever. The 7-ounce hunk of meat cost $100.
People are really going crazy for it.
So, what's inside?
Let's make $100 meatball.
According to creator Chef Juan Torn, Wagyu beef, garlic, onion, eggs, parsley, basil, Parmesan cheese, breadcrumbs, and truffle.
That's time to mix it all together, okay?
The meat was formed into balls.
Now, is that how big it is? It's that big?
Yes.
Next, they're stuffed with foie gras and truffle cheese and cooked to a perfect golden brown.
Ooh, truffle, nice. Ooh. It's a good looking meatball.
But what really pushed this meatball over the top? The rich shallot and champagne cream sauce.
Sauce is ready to go.
Lastly, it was topped with more shaved black truffle.
That looks, no wonder it's $100.
Then it was time for Stephen Fabian to do a taste test.
Ooh boy, chef, this looks amazing.
It's a convenient way to buy a quick snack. But would you try vending machines that sell well products? It's a local delicacy in Japan, and the machine's products also include frozen sashimi, steaks, bacon, and canned stews. The welling industry has been limited by conservation laws that aim to preserve marine life, but the vending machine's owner says well meat is a part of Japanese culture he would like to revive. This rebranding of well meat is something conservation groups are keeping an eye on.
So that's what they're probably trying to do, make it more popular, make the people more aware about it, telling the people this is part of our national identity, to make them increase their demand so that they will hopefully be able to sell more. So that's what we think is going on right now. It's a big question if they will be successful in the end. As of now, to us it looks the people are not getting really influenced by that.
That's one mammoth meatball, pun intended. In March of 2023, food scientists in Australia brought back a meat not seen in thousands of years, the woolly mammoth.
Because this protein is literally 4,000 years old, we haven't seen it for a very, very long time.
A company called Val injected mammoth DNA into the muscle cells of a sheep. For the missing strains of genetic code, the scientists added African elephant DNA because they're the mammoth's closest non-extinct relative. The combination was grown in a lab, resulting in about 14 ounces of meat, and the combination has a distinct odor.
It's super fascinating to think that adding the protein from an animal that went extinct 4,000 years ago gave it a totally unique and new aroma, something we haven't smelled as a population for a very long time.
Mammoth meat won't be on sale anytime soon, or possibly ever. The creators say they haven't even tasted it. Who knows what kind of allergens could have existed thousands of years ago? Instead, this experiment was to generate buzz around the possible environmental benefits of creating meat instead of raising it.
We wanted to get people excited about the future of food being different to potentially what we had before, that there are things that are unique and better than the meats that we're necessarily eating now.
For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Andrea Swindall.